Welcome to the Profit by Design podcast. And today is going to be such a fun episode. We have all three strategists here at Tap the Potential to celebrate Bonnie Cecil, our most recent recipient of the Great Place to Work Spotlight. So joining us today is Dr. Sabrina, the founder of Tap the Potential, Caitlin Beaver, our How to Hire the Best Strategist, and myself, the lead strategist at Tap the Potential. And the Great Place to Work Spotlight is really designed to spotlight business owners just like Bonnie, who are putting significant attention to make companies places that A players want to work. And the reason why we have the Great Place to Work Spotlight is because at Tap the Potential, we know that in order to have a great place to work, you need that clear strategy and intention around everything that you do. And there's simple steps that you can take to make your business truly a great place to work and attract A players who are just chomping at the bit to work with you. And we bring business owners on the podcast here to share their stories because we believe that it's going to inspire you and show you what's possible. So today we're so thrilled to introduce you to Bonnie. And her interest in AV started as a teenager with an interest in video production. And this interest led her to meeting her now husband, Brandon Cecil, in a video class in high school. And while Bonnie was in college, Brandon was running his very own business. After seeing how challenging entrepreneurship was, she promptly chose a stable career in IT after graduation. And after 13 years in IT, Bonnie made the jump into entrepreneurship with Brandon, and they now own and operate Fresh Tech Integrated, a design, build audio video integrator specializing in performance AV for houses of worship, casinos, and other commercial spaces. With Fresh Tech, you won't see any extra gear or shortcuts, just honest, easy to use solutions. So, Bonnie, we're so excited to have you on the podcast today. And I just want to share first how much I appreciate you in the Better Business, Better Life program. And the thing that I really appreciate most is simply the way you show up. Bonnie, you get things done and you know how to prioritize your $10,000 an hour activities working on your business. And I find it so amazing. Every time we come in a group, we're reviewing your accountability items and you always check everything off the list. And so often I say, hey, Bonnie, we need to make sure you have an accountability item for next week. But you truly have invested yourself completely into the coaching program and you believe in the process and you take all of the steps that we outline. And what that's resulted in is you making just massive, massive strides towards implementing the vision that you and Brandon have set up for your company. So we just want to take a moment first and just highlight how you do show up in the Better Business, Better Life program, because we believe that by us sharing what successful business owners are doing is going to inspire our listeners, other business owners, to take action in their business. So, Bonnie, could you share with us what used to be the most difficult aspect of running your business before you started in the Better Business, Better Life program?
I don't know. There's kind of two things. So one of the things that Brandon and I kept talking about repeatedly was we just kind of wanted to bounce things off someone else. It was just the two of us in our own little business. And we felt like, who else can we talk to? It's kind of lonely owning a business, especially when it's in a niche, like there's really no one else to talk to. So just to have some expertise. But then other than that, it was just the dealing with people and having an employees was really challenging. And we also needed help with that because that is not something that comes naturally to either one of us. So those are the two big challenges, which is why how to hire the best course was definitely something we jumped on pretty quickly.
So tell me what you're doing differently now as a result of working in the program?
In the program as a whole, Better Business, Better Life program?
Yeah.
Well, we actually have a hiring process now where we had nothing before. We've put a lot of things in place. Before we got started with the program, it felt like we had just tons and tons of work. We have to do this. We should be doing this. We should be doing this. We should figure out this over and over. And then it was just very helpful to have like that guidance on like, here's the one thing you need to do next. And then here's the next one. And this is the biggest thing that'll help you the most. And we've made a lot of progress that way. And I mean, we're working the same, but now it's focused on what will move us forward the most efficiently, rather than just like us, like kind of guessing, like, I don't know, this is what's screaming at me the loudest, and this I think is important, and never really being sure.
Bonnie, you've just identified two issues that I think most business owners can relate to. I mean, obviously, we're all good at the thing we do, but dealing with employees, no one's ever taught us, unless like I went to school for this. But in general, most business owners haven't had anybody teach them how you deal with people and employee issues. And then the other issue that I'm hearing you speak to is there's always so many things in a small business that need attention and could be better. And we entrepreneurs, we see them and we're like, I want to fix this. And then I want to fix this. And then we work really hard, but we don't see any result. And so what I'm hearing you speak to that's different now is you're working hard and it's focused and you're seeing results because of the focus.
Right. Yeah. The focus and the guidance. Because I mean, even we may have picked something to focus on, but not realized, oh, but we really should have got that in place first. Or you're not really ready for that, so don't focus on that. And like knowing that next thing is critical.
So what results are you beginning to see? You've been with us for about a year now. What are the biggest results that you're experiencing through the program?
I mean, I feel like we have a really good team now, some really good, really efficient team members. We have had quite a boost in business as well. And that might just be Brandon's years and years of hard work coming to fruition partly. But we can also like handle it now, whereas, before we didn't quite have the right things in place to be able to know what to do with all that business or how to handle it without, some bad things happening. I'm trying to think what was the question. Oh yeah, well, that's kind of hard. That's hard too. We are quite a bit more profitable this year, and there's a bunch of factors. Some for us, depending on like how fast we can get through projects, pricing changes are now coming into effect. So we have worked with pricing, but yes, 100% this year more profitable than last year.
I'm curious, Bonnie. You have just mastered a structure around managing your time, and this is one of the things that we most commonly see with our business owners. Being able to set aside time to actually work on your business, as you've identified your $10,000 an hour activities, along with that strategic plan that we map out with you in your action plan each year. You have really prioritized your time, and I know you work on your business several hours a week. Are there any words of wisdom that you can share to other business owners who may be listening about how to prioritize your time and set that intentional time to actually work on your business? And what are the benefits of that?
So I feel like it's easy for me to answer. I don't know about advice. So part of the benefit that we have between Brandon and I is that um, I can't do a lot of the working in the business part because I don't have the um, I just can't do all of the roles. I'm really good at my administrative role and keeping up with, bookkeeping and finances in that end. But in terms of, doing designs and actually doing installs, I can't do it, which is kind of a benefit because I can't get wrapped up into working in the business.
Mhm.
So that has been a benefit because whenever I joined the business a couple years ago, I mean, the main goal for me joining was to help build and prepare for that. So, and really fill in the gaps that Brandon couldn't fill in. He's just not skilled in every area. So that was always the intention, is for me to do that. And I was trying to do that, or what I thought would be that, before we signed up with you guys. But I basically had not a lot of capacity. I mean, I was really busy. I was working a lot, but um, that was kind of built in, and not being able to work in the business was really helpful. And then as I got more and more into the program, I started really trying to focus on, okay, what am I doing in the business that I can hand off eventually, and how to forming an exit ramp for those tasks as I was moving along, which helped a lot. That's just mindset. So I don't know if that's advice necessarily, but an explanation of how I've been able to prioritize my time.
I want to point out something that may get lost in what you just shared. The work that you're doing on the business is much more than administrative work, because you're really functioning as the CFO of the business, and in terms of the entrepreneurial operating system, EOS, the integrator in the
That's
business.
true.
I know
Yeah.
your business is integrator, but you're in
Yeah.
the role of integrator.
It's a little confusing with us, but yeah.
Which is a very high level role in the business. And for you to be looking at what can you take off your plate so that you can be more effective in these higher level roles is really critical to moving the business forward.
Yeah, I would say doing the work with our accountability chart and setting that up really helped to get my mind around, like, okay, what are the pieces of what I'm doing that someone else should eventually be doing pretty quickly, and what should I be doing, that sort of thing. And then the time audits also in conjunction with that. All the
Say more about
tools,
those time audits.
all the tools.
Say more about those time audits, Bonnie.
Oh, what they are,
Mm-hmm.
or what I learned. Okay,
And
so
what they are and what you learned.
I probably overdid it a bit, but I tracked my time. I did it for a month. I know usually it's just a week. I did it for a month because week to week it can vary so much. I felt like a month would be a little more appropriate. And I was able to track my time, like what role I was working in for each block of time. And then, at the end of the month, I analyzed it, and it was incredibly helpful, just to know where my time was going, one, but also when we moved to hiring another person, I could know exactly, like, this is a 6-hour per week job. This role is a 2-hour per week job, to know, where it could fit in with other things, that sort of thing. So, I mean, I found it really helpful with um, future hiring. Also helpful, just, we're a really small team, but we still have separate responsibilities. Just being able to, team members to have clear expectations, who's responsible for what. The accountability chart was one of my favorite, like, most useful things that we've worked through.
You've worked so hard on your accountability chart, and I just want to acknowledge you for including your key team members in your coaching experience. Just this week, one of your team members popped into office hours, and it was such a pleasant experience. She was so knowledgeable. I was blown away and impressed. And she's really thinking like a business owner. And she came with her coaching questions and just really was open-minded. And we kind of redirected her away from the original question and said, okay, we actually need to pause on this one project and go back and do a time audit so that we make sure everything that you are doing aligns with your unique strengths. And it's going to be things that light you up. And maybe this one thing needs to be shifted over to another team member. And Bonnie, that's just a testament to you and your leadership and Brandon's leadership and all of the hard work that you're doing. So I really want to acknowledge that. And as we're talking about team members, I just want to shift our focus here to the Great Place to Work Spotlight. And I'm going to let Caitlin take over and ask you a few questions about your experience there as we celebrate you.
I'm so excited to be here with you, Bonnie. It has been really incredible to watch you build your hiring muscle. And we talk about it so much. It takes so much time. And there are so many strategies and skills and tools that we really support you with along the way. But watching you implement all of those, embrace them, and take the time to intentionally create this great place to work that really attracts the right team members and can continue to support team and clients and the business as a whole. It's been great to be part of this journey with you. And to get started, I'm curious, what hiring challenges did you experience prior to working with us in How to Hire the Best and in the Better Business, Better Life program?
I would say we had never truly hired someone from, like, I'd say the right way. I mean, we're still a fairly small business in terms of number of team members. All of our team members had come just out of convenience. Like, we knew them, we could trust them, not necessarily because, we didn't have a job ad. So they didn't really have any clear expectations. And it might have not been a good fit for them because we weren't looking for them. we thought, well, they could learn it, so it was really unofficial. And like we had no process when we got started with you guys, and now we definitely have a process, and it's really great to have like someone coming on board. They have clear expectations, we have clear expectations, we're on the same page. Like it's really, shocker, it's really useful. I remember when we first signed up with the program, one of the things, the goals for a year from now was like, your team members have clear expectations. And I remember thinking that'd be great. And that, it makes a difference.
I'm so happy to hear that. And it sounds like you're starting to see so many results, and the impact is profound. So I just want to hear again, how has this impacted and supported you in really attracting the right A players to your business?
I think, I'm not sure if I can answer your question, but I'll try. I think what sticks out to me the most in the method is just like the honesty in job ads. And what I've learned is more like the more honest, the better. Not that like anyone's being deceptive or not like that, but I think there, at least for me, was a hesitation to, like, oh, maybe this wouldn't sound good, or maybe we don't include this, or maybe this might make people shy away. But really, if that honest thing would deter someone, then they're probably not a right fit anyway. So like really focusing on the right fit, not worrying about how many candidates. You just want a few of the right people, not 500 of random people. So that was something that I was surprised to learn. And good, right? Because then, the more information a candidate has, the more comfortable they are. Especially, I know that a lot of people have experienced where they like apply for a job, and then once they get in the job, they're like, this is not anything like what was described. And that's frustrating for all the parties involved.
So I want to just kind of touch on some of the key aspects of how to hire the best that you really elegantly described about how it allows you to show up with, I think it's sincerity. Like this is authentically, sincerely who we are as a team at Fresh Tech. And so part of what's in that job ad are your immutable laws, your core values, and those are the seeds of your culture. And your job ads are written in plain language. So how you guys speak every day at work to each other. And somebody who's not a good fit will read that and not even connect with what you're writing. But the person who's the right person will read it and be like, oh yeah, they're speaking my language. And the other piece that you addressed is what we call inoculating candidates. So when you describe something that can be really hard about the job and you include that in the job ad, people who read it and like everything else, and then they see this one like hurdle or challenge, A players will be like, I got this. I know that's going to be hard, but I've got this. And the wrong people will just turn and walk away and say, not for me. I don't want to deal with that. And so what you said was like, you don't want 500 candidates because that's the most time consuming part of the hiring process for us business owners is sorting through all those applications. And you really just want to have a few of really good, solid candidates who have said, yes, I get the culture. Yes, I understand the challenge and I'm up for it. Please interview me. And then you make your choice from that group of people.
Yep. Yeah, I was really encouraged. We had a candidate for our last hire and we ended up not hiring her. She had backed out. She didn't really live in a convenient place for her. But one of the things that she said that I was so relieved to hear, excited to hear, is she was like, I read the job ad. I don't know who wrote it, but they did such a good job. And I was like, yes, that's me. That's me. And that you're describing. And I was really encouraged to hear that. Like, okay, good. There actually are people out there that it is supposed to speak to, and it has. So yeah, that was great to hear from them.
That's what we call one of those early signs of success. Like it didn't translate to the person you hired, but it gave you confidence that
right,
we're on the right track here.
Right. Yeah. Because that's what you want. You want someone that like reads it and is like, yeah, I hope you call me back. I'm excited. Not like, oh, what company are you from? Oh, okay. They just put out 100 resumes or something. So.
Absolutely. And I'm curious, how has this helped you grow your leadership skills?
Are you talking how to hire the best?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. That's a tough one. I would say I feel a lot more confident at writing job ads. Thank you very much, Caitlin, for all of your help. It's even helpful to have those, like, just to refer to, like, what were we thinking when oh yeah, that is part of that role, or that wasn't in there. Oh, we should put it in there or modify it just to, continually refine it. But really just the setting and having clear expectations is so helpful, because you might hire someone and if they might be a great person, but if you're not on the same page on what's expected, you're just kind of setting everyone up for failure. So I think that's been the most beneficial that I can think of.
it's been really incredible to really watch you own this. And I know that when we talked a lot about what your goals were for how to hire the best, I mean, really, you wanted to create a great environment for any A player that was excited to work for you to really thrive. And you've taken the steps to do that. And in and of itself, I've seen you really transform and build your confidence, and stand with conviction in what it is, the opportunities that you really do want to provide.
Yeah. I mean, we work here too. Like, we want it to be a good place to work. We're here too.
So that makes me really curious, Bonnie. In your experience, what makes Fresh Tech a great place for the A players on your team? You being chief A player, like, what makes it a good place to work?
Well, we have quite a bit of freedom and autonomy. None of us are micromanagers. So, if someone doesn't like micromanaging, we're good for that. And, we're growing, we're small and growing. So there's lots of opportunity for advancement. One of the things that some people like about us in particular in like the AV industry is you can work here and not have to travel a lot. A lot of AV jobs are travel, or you're on the road. Like, it's not very cushy. So they like that. We've been told that as far as integrators go, we're very organized. We don't always feel very organized. Like, there's some improvement we can make, but apparently in the world of integrators, we're pretty organized. So we try to really, we have high standards. So, the expectation is everything goes smoothly. And, whenever there's a hiccup, we, try to tackle it and go, okay, how are we going to make sure this doesn't happen again? How did it happen? Let's see do we have to improve the process? Well, whatever we have to do to smooth things out for the future. So we really try to do that in most areas, which is like one of the things that we're doing constantly is always trying to improve like our processes and systems and get more efficient and create a better experience. I mean, really efficient processes that work well. It's good for the team members and it's good for our clients. It's just good for everyone. So we're always working towards that.
There's one more that can easily slide into the background, but I just want to bring it forward. And that is that you're very intentional with your immutable laws, that the clients that you do business with are a good fit with your immutable laws, your vendors, your partners. You're really looking for that alignment. And for a team member that comes on that reads your job ad and says, oh, that culture, that's me, I want to be there. Can be reassured coming in that, yes, that's the culture you're going to experience on the team. And it's also the culture that you're going to experience when you're out there working on a job site with a client or a customer that you're serving. And that, I think, for a team member is a big deal.
Yeah, we do have some pretty good clients.
Another thing that you are working so hard on behind the scenes, Bonnie, is really working towards your team members' strengths and making sure that they have the bandwidth that they need and they're doing the things that they love to do. So you're really working hard to build a great culture and to make people excited to come to work because they're working in areas that they love and they're very much supported by you and Brandon. So that stands out. Your hard work, you're just tireless in that effort of continuing to improve systems and standards for the culture for your team members.
Thanks. We do try.
You've done incredible, and it's really incredible to see the work that you have done. And why we're all here today is to celebrate the fact that you are a great place to work and that you've taken move forward action steps to really accomplish that. So we appreciate you for sharing your thoughts around what this experience has been like for you and the results that you've seen.
Thank you. It has been pretty remarkable, the change from what we've had.
It's been a lot of fun to be on the journey with you through this, Bonnie. And for those who are listening, I want to provide a little clarity. So How to Hire the Best is a standalone course that you can purchase. Like if you just need help with hiring, you can definitely purchase the How to Hire the Best course. A lot of our clients don't stop there. They join the full Better Business, Better Life program and get support on building the profitability and finding those top clients that are a joy to work with, and then building that A-player team where you're getting all this efficiency, which leads to profitability and peace of mind for the business owner. And so when you're in the Better Business, Better Life program, the How to Hire the Best course is included. Like you don't pay extra for it. So if anybody's curious about how all of that works, Caitlin is your lady to talk to.
Thank you. And Bonnie, as we wrap things up, Bonnie, you know we're all about making our work support life. So I'm curious, what is one gold nugget that you can share with our listeners that they could put into action in their own business to help support what truly matters most to them?
Gosh. I don't know. I don't know about advice, but I can say that from what I've seen from myself, limits kind of force innovation, as I've heard Dr. Sabrina say quite a bit from many podcasts.
I've heard that somewhere. That's awesome.
I can't just work overtime every night. I don't have the option. And I think sometimes that's really a benefit, because it's not as easy to just burn out because it's not an option. So we figure something out or something like it. It seems like it might make things harder or make things worse, but in most ways, I think it's actually a benefit that forces me into prioritizing and innovation and that sort of thing. So just listen to more Profit by Design podcasts and you'll get the explanation a little more fully.
You did a great job explaining that. I think it's always more powerful to hear it from a business owner who's really living it. And when we have things that compete with work in our lives for our attention, sometimes it's easier to create that work supports life versus when we feel like, oh, I have all this time available, I could just work and work and work. That becomes a little bit harder, but those limits really do make a difference. So thank you for sharing that.
Yep.
Incredible. Thank you so much for being with us today, Bonnie. We are so proud of all of your hard work, and it's such a joy and honor to be on the journey with you.
Thank you. You've made a difference.
Thank you, Bonnie.